Well, we're going to wrap up the day. What we're going to do is take this HAC-560 and we're going to mix up some 9234. And the 9234 is by 15%. So HAC-560, 9234, 8433, or 8401. So it depends on the thickness of your casting. If it was a hot day or a really thick casting, I'd probably go with the 8433. So we're looking at probably 2 inches thick with 70 degrees, 75. So we're going to go with the 9234, which will leave this one here. So basically I emptied this can out, and right now I'm sitting on the scale with 65.8 grams of HAC-560. Now to fill this mold, I weighed the mold I previously made, and I'm looking at about 80 ounces, I believe. So it might not be as thick or as tall as the other one here, the old one, but it'll be pretty close. It really didn't need to be quite as thick as it was. So I think by the time we get 65.8 and 15%, that ought to get us up there pretty close to where we need to be. If not, I can make up some more. I got more of this 560. So this might be slow going here, but 15% of that, I need to get this number to 75.67. So we'll go 75.7. The nice thing about a digital scale, you can actually see what you're doing. You can watch the numbers. See, right now I'm at 70. We're going to go 75.7 if we can get it. 4. Overshot it by a tenth. We'll have to live with it. That'll be good enough. So basically, the next step, it's almost just like mixing cake batter. So what I've done, I've taken this piece of strip steel. I radius the corner. That radius in the corner matches the pail. Yeah, so this morning I actually clayed that up on a video, and then once I got the landing gear clayed up on the parting board, then I went ahead and put the surface coat in. And then once I got the surface coat in, basically it's still somewhat in the B stage, so I didn't want to miss the opportunity. So it's time to actually get this casting in there, this HAC-560 on top of the 302. So right now you can still see a big separation. It looks sort of like mud, that curing agent. I just keep scraping the sides, and then I'll go across the bottom. This stuff, you know, it takes a while to mix. It's not automatic. You know, it takes a while to work it in there. The viscosity of this casting resin is pretty thick, and it doesn't really mix real well at first. Once it starts to go, it'll mix, but it takes a while for the curing agent to melt into the casting resin. Something happens chemically too. Okay, so at this point you can see the curing agent dissolved into the casting resin. Now I'm not going to transfer to a second bucket. I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to try not to scrape the sides too much. So I think I'm about 10 ounces lighter than the other mold. Let's see what the other one was. Yeah, 88. 88, what were we at? 75. A little bit over 10 ounces. But this casting here could have been a little bit shorter. So I think we're about there. I think that's about it. Now let's turn our attention to this mold. See how much I can get down in here without getting all over my clamps here. Usually just start right down the center. Now what I like to do is go through there and give a light stir. And basically it just pops those air bubbles that come to the top. You're going to get air bubbles in it anyway. I agitate it a little bit, that way try to keep them coming to the top and popping them. One of the things I didn't do, probably be helpful, was to level this mold. I think it's pretty close, but you know, ideally you want to degas this stuff, put it in a vacuum chamber. So that's about all there is to it. It's just like mixing cake batter. I'll give it another stir here in a minute. Oop. You're mixing epoxy, acetone's your friend. So it looks like we got enough coverage for the legs of the landing gear, so I think we're going to be all right on the thickness of this mold. Just trying to see how low that goes. I think we're going to have enough coverage. Like I said, we're about, what was it, 10, 11 ounces shy of the one we had before. That was a little thick. Here's the weight of the other casting. That's the one that same gear. Let's see, I had a little bit to play with here. So this new casting will probably come about a 1/4 inch or 3/8 past the gear. And that's all there is to it. It's like making a cake. Got 4 clamps on it, finger tight. So here's what I got in the mold. Here's a recap. No, they're not paying me to advertise this stuff. This is just what I've used for all these years. There's your surface coat, HSC 302 and a hardener 302. And the casting, once the gel coat, surface coat, B stages, then I go to HAC-560 and 9234. And if you think you're going to make a casting bigger than what this is, then you want to go with a slower curing agent. Now I've used 9234 on these molds, and what'll happen is you'll get a little bit of shrinkage, you know, around the top, or it's never affected the actual part, the casting where the part is made, but sometimes on the perimeter. But the temperature is pretty moderate today, so we'll go with the 9234. So you could make wheel pant molds, you could cast them. If I was going to do wheel pants, I probably wouldn't mess with laying them up with glass. I'd probably just do castings. The bell cranks, I always cast them in, and wheel pants would probably be about the same size. So it's just so quick. You know, you brush in the surface coat, let it tack up, and you know, pour the casting in on it. So that's about all I wanted to cover. One of the things that's really necessary when you start doing big buckets of resin, you got to have a scale that'll handle a lot of weight. This scale will go to 30 pounds. You got your prints and units right here. So 2,495 grams, that's what that weighs. It's 5.5 pounds. 2.495 kilograms. 88 ounces. So the other beauty of this is the tear weight. So let's just say, you know, you zero this thing out, which is 0 right now. And let's say you throw a cup on it. Let's pretend this paper towel is a cup. Okay, the paper towel / cup, 2.6 ounces. And then what you do is re-zero it. So it takes the scale back to 0. And it's this thing's super accurate. And it just runs off of, I think 6D batteries. So it's portable. And it's got the cord, and it goes up to the stainless steel plating. If you pull this off, you can take this off, and inside the scale there's a glass bubble with a bubble in it, glass window with a bubble, and basically you just adjust these feet here back and forth to get the bubble in the center. So that's sort of what calibrates the scale as far as being level. So when you start doing big batches, this is necessary in my opinion. I didn't want to be guessing on a big batch of resin. So yeah, that's about it. So tomorrow we're going to have a brick, and then I'll probably go 2 days. Let this thing really, you know, cure up good. And then I'll demold all this, take it apart, take off the parting board, and that will get me down to this part here, which will have the carbon gear will still be in it. I'll leave it in there. And then I'll turn the camera back on, and we'll show you how to make the other top half. So that's about all I wanted to cover. Do a flip here. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. If you notice today, I went out to the flying field, took Old Blue out there, took some RC stuff out there, and we had a good time flying. It's pretty relaxing. I was never competitive in RC, never wanted to be, but it was always just for fun. And then the control line aerobatic stuff, I tried to be competitive. But it's amazing when you get out there at the RC field, how much you can get away with for fun flying. You can fly planes that are so heavy, so out of trim, and have a blast with them. And control line pattern, RC pattern, competition, it's very unforgiving. Okay, so I love doing it all, and thanks for coming by and watching. I know there was a lot of live streams today. Go back and watch them, and hope you enjoy the videos, because I enjoy making them. See you next time.